time for another hiker interview. I haven't done one of these in a while, so it's about time. Everyone, welcome Jukebox to the channel. Hello, Jukebox.
Hey, Glow Stick, how's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Where are we right now?
We are on the Foothills Trail, somewhere in North Carolina, I think. So,
Heck yes.
Yeah.
I never know if we're in South Carolina or North Carolina because the trail goes along the border, but we're in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
So I was starting to plan this trail is kind of a shakedown for my Colorado trail trek later in the summer. And I really wanted to come back to the Southeast U.S. because I just freaking love it here after my AT experience. And so I asked Jukebox if he wanted to come along because Jukebox, where are you based now?
I am out of Asheville now.
Nice. How are you liking the Asheville area?
Pretty awesome. Tons of stuff to do. Lots of trail systems. Lots of cool people. So yeah, it's a great place.
Nice. Very cool. He used to be in Colorado also, but alas, no longer. He landed in a cool place though, I think.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
So Jukebox is another person that I met on my AT thru hike. Although he technically was never a thru hiker, never calling himself a thru hiker. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, not a thru hiker. Have no interest in getting to the end of anything or hiking to the top of anything. Yeah, I just decided to go out and hike around for a while. Decided I was done with my job and wanted to move somewhere. I didn't know where. Figured out it was somewhere out east, but I didn't know where exactly. So I figured I'd just kind of like hike the AT along and check out towns and stuff. And even when I started, I said, if I made it through Virginia, which I don't think I'm going to, but if, I knew I didn't want to live anywhere north of that. So I would just turn around and kind of start walking south. And was still having fun, so I just kind of kept on walking. And so I dipped out at mile 1653, Manchester Center, Vermont. Had a great time. I'd do it again. But yeah, definitely not a thru hiker. Just wanted to hike, you know.
No, that's it, guys. Only like 1,650 miles, but like, no, he was never interested in thru hiking.
Yeah.
So my family met Jukebox right outside of Damascus, Virginia. And from the time that we met him, like he started at the beginning of the trail. Did you do Amicalola?
Yeah, I did the approach trail and everything, yeah.
He even did the approach trail. And then we met him in Virginia, and the entire time he's like, I'm not a thru hiker. I'm gonna be off any day now. I'm gonna be off the trail. Like, I'm not interested in finishing this thing. Like, you'll probably never see me after like tomorrow or next week or whatever. And then he stuck around for a long time. You hung out with my family for a good part of Virginia, I feel like.
It was about 3 weeks, I feel like. 3 weeks, somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
It was a while.
We kept trying to recruit him to the Tramily as well. We were going to make him some literature. We never quite got to the literature, but we really thought for a while we were going to capture him into the Tramily, but he somehow escaped us.
Yeah, it was close, but yeah, alas.
Alas. Okay, so what brought you out to the AT was actually trying to find your next place to live?
Yeah, basically I'd been working at a desk job and knew that I didn't want to do that anymore. It was starting to get super stressful, so quit my job, sold my stuff. I was looking for warm, deciduous mountainous forests and knew that was going to be like the next place to live, but I didn't know where out east. So I started looking at different big loops that I could do, maybe just like outside these little towns and check them out. And then remember hearing about the AT and okay, so what's that? And I figured out it was somewhere that I could spend as much time in the woods as I wanted. Nobody would care if I was homeless. It was easy to get out into town pretty quickly. So I figured I'd just hike the AT and just, pop into towns and see if I liked any of them. And never found any that really spoke to me. But even after ending up in Asheville for a few days, like, I don't think this is a place. I just kept on walking. And eventually got off trail. And then the universe just kind of pushed me to Asheville anyway. But, yeah.
Cool. But you like it now, so I guess it all worked out.
Yeah.
It all worked out.
Yeah, the universe knew where I was supposed to be. So,
Nice. Of your 1,653 miles on the AT, what section was your favorite?
Either the Smokies. Smokies is amazing anyway. Just the hiking out there is awesome and some really good views. Half of my Smoky trip was really good weather, and then the other half was kind of crappy, but I feel like that's the experience of the Smokies. Grayson Highlands was gorgeous for sure. I'd do that one again. Roan Highlands, the humps, really cool. I've done that one at least one other time since I got off trail.
I love all those areas.
Yeah, I think those are my favorite sections. Yeah.
Nice. Any least favorite sections?
Not in particular. There were some times in Virginia where it was just like, going through the Green Tunnel and it's just kind of hiking. But I wouldn't say it was a unfavorite section, just maybe my least favorite because you're just kind of walking, But yeah, it's still fun. I mean, I love hiking, so it, didn't really matter. Yeah, but I'd say least favorite somewhere in Virginia probably.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about your most favorite non-place aspect? Does that make sense? I guess your favorite figurative aspect of the AT.
Oh, gotcha. Probably the freedom of it. I mean, I think that's one of the things I was looking for anyway, was just a little bit more freedom. So yeah, being able to just get up today or don't, and hike today or don't, and go as far as you want or don't, really easy to get into town. So it was really easy to kind of just take a quick Zero or a small Nero to, whatever lake or creek or whatever was around and just kind of hang out. Again, just no pressure to actually be anywhere or do anything in particular. And but everything out there was fun. So it's just you do as much or as little as you want. And yeah, you don't have to do anything, just that freedom.
Yeah, nice. Okay, how about your least favorite?
The rain, I guess.
That would be mine as well.
That was probably my least favorite. Yeah, the rain kind of sucked. And I honestly don't mind being wet, and I don't mind hiking in rain, but just weeks at a time of being wet and everything smells like mold and wet dog, and just that kind of thing. That was kind of a drag, but yeah, that's probably my least favorite aspect.
Yeah, my hair was smelling like mildew for a while in Virginia. It was very concerning. Very, very concerning. Okay, so you said you're not into through hiking or finishing things. So what are you doing on the? I'm through hiking the Foothills Trail right now. What are you doing?
Just hiking, having a good time. I like backpacking, so
he joined us 20 miles in.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just have to go back and finish that 20 miles.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm pretty close, so I might.
Yeah, you could just pop over for a day or two.
Yeah.
And this trail's great, so
yeah,
I really enjoyed that first 20 miles of it.
Oh yeah, I'll have to do it then.
Yeah. Okay, so what were you doing before the AT, and then you were kind of looking for your next thing? What has that led you to? What are you doing now?
So the thing I was doing before, I was a cartographer for a government contractor, so making topo maps and nautical charts. But I was a project manager, so I was doing more billing, cost to complete, spreadsheets, employee stuff, you know what I mean?
Office stuff?
Office stuff, yeah, pushing a mouse around a desk. And then, yeah, I got stressful, so I jumped out to the AT, and it was out there that I met a couple of people that had done wilderness therapy, and just sounded cool guiding people through the woods, backpacking guiding. I knew I didn't want to do wilderness therapy because that sounded not quite my alley, but decided I want to be a backpacking guide or some sort of outdoor guide. So after the trail, I went back home to visit Dad, and that was in Houston, and REI was hiring, and I figured I needed to replenish my gear because I just thrashed it, needed a little bit of extra cash, so I did this retail thing for a little bit. Coming to find out that there's guiding through REI, so I just decided, all right, I'll stick around, and REI is a cool place to work. So got in with their experiences team. I moved out to Chattanooga where they were doing backpacking classes, and then I was there for about 2 years, and then they shut the experiences program down, but Asheville is still doing theirs, so I moved up there to do that. So I'm working in the store, and I work experiences doing backpacking classes, mapping compass classes, mountain bike tours, kayak classes, kayak tours, stand-up paddle boarding, basically all the outdoor stuff, just basically doing all the stuff I enjoy and showing other people how to do it too,
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I bet you're so good at that too.
Oh.
Okay, so if people have questions about any of these backpacking adventures or gear or anything, can they stop in and see you in REI?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, come and stop in, and if I don't know, then there's people around that definitely know your answers, or the answers to your questions. But everybody at our store is incredibly knowledgeable, especially about the area around here. So yeah, stop in my experience, any REI, and you'll get some really good information.
Yeah, so if people have never backpacked before, what advice do you have for them if they want to get into it?
Yeah, I would say start researching gear in general first, just to see, what kind of backpacker you want to be, how much money do you want to spend, develop a budget pretty early on just to see what kind of stuff you're going to get. Once you start spending that money and decide that these are the things that you want, spend the money on the big three: your tent, sleeping bag, sleeping pad, and your backpack. Those are the things that are going to make you most comfortable on the trail. Everything else you can kind of skimp on, and even like the really cheap stuff will get you by for a while until you can, you know, like start replenishing that with better things. But yeah, so do some research on some gear, look at the ultralight options, look at the comfortable options, see what you want and what you don't, see what works for other people. And then once you get an idea of that, then go into REI and start saying, like, these are the things that I've narrowed it down to. These are the things that I want to look into. So talk to me about gear, you know, and we'll take you all through the store and, you know, like go down every aisle basically and talk about the different things that you're going to need. And, but yeah, so just do a little bit of research, know what you're kind of getting yourself into, and then go in and start asking some questions. And yeah, love to help you out.
Nice. Yeah. So has your gear changed at all, like from when you started the AT until now?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I still am a bit of a comfort camper, but I'm kind of a gear nerd too. So, and especially getting some, you know, deals at the store, it's pretty easy to like, ooh, I kind of want to try this thing. So I've lightened up my pack a little bit, mainly because out in this area too, I don't necessarily need a double wall tent all the time. So I lightened up to trekking pole tent. I got a little bit smaller of a pack. So I've tried to lighten up a little bit more, but I'm still definitely carrying a lot of comfortable stuff.
Yeah, I have a few comfort items in my pack as well, so I understand. Okay, so if you had someone who's like, okay, give me a couple of items that I could get the cheap version, I could skimp on. Could you give examples of what those items are?
Totally. Stove is the #1 thing. Whatever the Texity off of Amazon is like $10 or something like that.
I had a $10 Amazon stove on the AT. It lasted me the entire time.
Yeah. Great. And so, like, you know, versus the Pocket Rocket, somewhere around $65, somewhere around there. So yeah, you can totally skimp on that. You can definitely get the cheaper like pots and things like that. Basically, you know, spending that extra $50 to lose that extra ounce might not be worth it when you're first getting started. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, things like that. I'm trying to think. Headlamps is a pretty good one. Basically, just like all that little stuff that you might not necessarily absolutely need every time. The other thing too is if you buy the cheap version of it, then you can try to figure out what you do and don't like about something, and then you can buy the good version of it that actually does the thing that you want, versus going out and spending $100 on a headlamp that you find out is heavier than what you want it to be, or doesn't have the lumens or the settings, or, you know, that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've, just from going out backpacking like on the AT, and then even after that, like I personally have learned a ton about gear and what I want in gear. So I've replaced a lot of my stuff. So I think it's really smart to start off with, like, if you can skimp and get the cheaper version of things to start with before you know what you want, I think that seems super smart.
Yep. Yeah, another good thing is to, if you've already got anything, just go ahead and use that to begin with, just so you're not spending, you know, $200 on a brand new sleeping bag that you might not like, you know. So yeah, if you've already got a sleeping bag, it might be big and bulky and heavy, but at least your first couple trips, you'll figure out what you don't like about it, and then look for the things that have what you do want, you know. Yeah.
Also, sorry guys, I think I had a spider on me, so that's why I'm wriggling around. Hopefully it doesn't go back. We'll see.
We out in the woods. Yeah.
We are out there. We are out there. This is day 6 for me, day 4 for you?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that? Yeah.
I think it's 4.
Yeah. Okay, so I should have asked you this at the beginning of the interview, but I always like to ask people, how did you get your trail name?
Oh, I like to sing while I hike. So yeah, I was singing and hiking, and somebody mentioned that, and they went through a couple of different, it should be, and then we finally just settled on Jukebox. I was carrying a staff for a while, and people wanted to call me Gandalf, but I've never seen any of those movies. It's not kind of my thing, so yeah, when somebody had something a little bit better, I took it.
Yeah, so I think my young friends, Tortilla and Walker, they actually called you Staff.
Yeah,
they,
Staff.
They like referred you to as Staff.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, because they had met him like way at the beginning of the trail before he actually had a trail name.
Yeah, like day 3 or 4, I met them. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so are there other places in life that you sing, or is it just on the trail?
Yeah, I like that. I used to busk pretty regularly when I lived in Colorado. So you'd just go out to downtown before friends showed up and just, street perform for a while and then go drink whatever I made, essentially. So yeah, I'm starting to get back into that now that COVID's kind of dying down a little bit more and I'm getting settled down in Asheville. Asheville's an awesome place to busk and street perform, so I think I'm gonna get back into that. But yeah.
Nice. So maybe sometime if people are visiting Asheville, like they might find you singing on the street.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, throw a bucket in the hat or a dollar in the hat.
Yeah, please throw a dollar in the hat if you see Jukebox in Asheville.
Yeah.
Do you have any like favorite songs you like to sing, like either on the trail or while you're busking, or?
I mean, I do, but it's all about like what I guess like how I feel on the trail. So I mean, like, is it, you know, in the morning and everything's kind of chill and I'm just kind of like walking through, or am I, you know, like trying to charge up the hill and try to get, you know, get this ascent out of the way. But yeah, I've got a list of songs I kind of like flip through depending on the mood, I guess. But yeah.
So he actually has this long list of songs. He let me put in some requests yesterday while we were hiking, which I really enjoyed. Got some Billy Joel on there, some Queen, some Elton John.
Yeah, lots of Elton John, lots of Fleetwood Mac.
Ooh, love me some Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can say no if you want to.
Okay.
Can you give us a little tune right now?
I'm gonna go ahead and say no to that.
Okay, that's fair. You guys are gonna have to go to Asheville to see him sing. Or just run into him in the woods somewhere.
Yeah, right, there you go. Yeah, best bet.
Okay, so you said something really interesting. I think it was today earlier while we were hiking. You were comparing life to the trail.
Yeah.
Can you tell me again what you said?
Yeah, the trail seemed like it was life just condensed, you know. So like start out and you're kind of fresh and you know, just like cruising along, and then but you're kind of like apprehensive of what's going on, and then meet some people and you have a great time, and then those people kind of fade away and you meet some more people and then you have a great time. Sometimes you're by yourself, sometimes you're surrounded by folks, sometimes it's an awesome time, sometimes it's not, you know. Just kind of like, you know, the progress of the trail just kind of seemed like the same as the progress of life. Just, it's like condensed into 6 months, so it all happens just so fast, you know. Yeah, it was really interesting to kind of reflect on after I got off.
Yeah, that really spoke to me when you said that, because I just feel like you go through so many emotions and like joys and triumphs and also challenges, like all just like packed into this like short period of time, but it's all so big, you know?
Yeah, and like life is no different out there. It's just a different venue of it, you know? So like there's the same like dramas and there's the same like fun stuff and there's the same all of it. But again, it just happens so much more quickly. You know, you meet somebody on day 1 and then day 2, you're best friends. And then by day 7, it's, you know, like, I think I don't want to be around this person anymore or whatever, you know?
That's so sad.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, it just kind of happens, you know? Just kind of like drift in and out. And,
yeah. Oh, well, bummer.
Yeah, you know, it's life condensed.
Yeah. Okay, do you have any regrets about your AT experience?
Kinda. I'm not gonna say like hard regret or anything. I wish I had done less research.
Really?
There were a couple of times where, you know, like you're coming into, I don't know, Roan or Dragon's Tooth or any of those like big name places, you know, and like you already kind of know what to expect. You come into the Smokies just knowing that you're going to get like all the big views and stuff because that's what you've seen and that's what you read. And there were a number of sections like that where like I'm going in with these expectations, and whatever your expectation is, it's not going to match. Like it could be better or worse, but it's not going to match. So I kind of wish I'd have gone into those places with, you know, like zero expectations, not even knowing what to expect. And then I feel like there would have been a little bit more awe there, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Like I still had a great time, obviously, but that was one of the things where, like, man, I guess like I didn't have to do as much research as I did to try to see like what the trail was going to be like. You know, I kind of wish I just like experienced it as it came.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. For anyone thinking about doing the AT, do you have any advice for them?
Just do it, man. Find time. If you want to do it, you can do it. It's all a mental game. So if you want to finish, you can finish, absolutely, with, you know, barring any like medical issues or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, if you want to do it, just make time and figure it out. There's no better time than now, you know. Whatever it is that you're doing, we'll be there in 6 months for the most part. Obviously there are some exceptions there, but yeah, if you want to do it, just do it. It's, yeah, anybody can do it in my opinion.
Great advice. Yeah. Great advice. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to share about the great outdoors or the AT or Asheville or anything like that?
Just go out and enjoy it. Leave no trace, you know, practice all the L&T principles. Make sure that you're not trashing it. The outdoors is for everyone, so make sure that as you enjoy it, you leave it in such a condition that other people can enjoy it at least as much as you do, or better.
You are a fantastic interviewee.
Oh, thank you.
You have so many great points. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you guys appreciate it as well.
I hope you do too.
Well, Jukebox, thank you so much for being here on the channel.
Thanks for having me.
And most especially for being here on the Foothills Trail.
Again, thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
Yes, you're welcome. And you guys, if you haven't watched my foothill videos yet, go back and watch that series. This trail's freaking amazing.
Sweet, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of this trail?
It's pretty amazing. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we
lots of cool
spent
stuff.
like half a day on a lake yesterday.
Yeah.
It was the greatest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all next time.
Bye.